Noble Leo, the transition into this month is not a roar but a captivating whisper. A subtle, shimmering invitation to look beyond your own dazzling light and toward the delicate, interwoven connections that hold your immediate world together. This initial period is a cosmic story about grace, contracts, and the sudden arrival of truth. It is the essential, unavoidable prerequisite for the monumental shifts that lie ahead. Do not be fooled by the low volume. The action here is internal, strategic, and utterly decisive. For the magnificent lion, a creature accustomed to ruling by confident decree, the first 10 days, from October 1st through the 10th, demand an unprecedented application of charm and mental precision. The celestial architects have placed your own ruler, the great sun, alongside the swift messenger Mercury, both gliding through the sign of Libra within your third house of communication, agreements, and movement. Your focus narrows, sharpens, and electrifies the very air around you. This house is your immediate terrain. Your conversations, your sibling relationships, your written word, the contracts you sign, and the short pathways you travel every day. It is asking you to abandon the heavy-handed weapon of force and take up the finely tuned instrument of diplomacy. The energy of Libra insists on balance, but for you, Leo, this balance must be wielded like a velvet-gloved sword. Every spoken word this week is not just communication. It is a negotiation of spirit. You will find that you are the essential mediator, the one who can step into a situation of conflict, be it a misunderstanding between two family members or a complex impasse within a critical business negotiation, and with exquisite precision find the golden mean. This is a time to refine your arguments, to perfect the phrasing of a crucial email, and to recognize that the quiet art of compromise holds infinitely more power than 1,000 battle cries. This period is a cosmic whisper, urging you to create a more beautiful and efficient structure for your existence by mastering the subtle art of the deal. This Sun-Mercury conjunction makes you a tireless student of the obvious. Look around your neighborhood, talk to your siblings, review the documents piled on your desk. The key to unlocking a major future victory lies hidden within the details of the mundane. You are being tested on your ability to see the world not as a stage for your performance, but as a chessboard demanding focused, measured moves. Consider the contracts and legal drafts that cross your path. You may receive a complex legal document regarding the lease renewal for your creative studio or the terms for a new collaboration with a local vendor. Instead of attacking the terms with a Leo roar of indignation, this energy demands you utilize the smooth, persuasive charm of Libra to call the other side, find the perfect, mutually beneficial compromise, and secure an outcome that favors your long-term position. Do not sign anything this week without reading the fine print twice, looking for loopholes you can exploit with grace. The secret to your success lies in identifying the unspoken need of the other party and satisfying it while simultaneously securing your own advantage. It is a win-win, but you are the one orchestrating the victory. The sheer volume of correspondence may become overwhelming. Your phone will buzz relentlessly, your inbox will overflow. This is the universe sending you signals, codes, and opportunities disguised as daily tasks. Do not delegate the most important messages. You must be the one to respond, to write the key proposal, and to place the critical phone call. The subtle inflection in your voice, the precise weight of your chosen words. These are your tools of creation right now. Miscommunication during this period is not merely an inconvenience. It can be a missed destiny. Therefore, double-check addresses, confirm appointments, and ensure every communication you send is a masterpiece of clarity and compelling persuasion. But before you get entirely consumed by the papers and the details, there is one last glorious burst of pure, unadulterated leonine magic that provides your final momentum. Until October 9th, the Enchantress Venus remains right there in your sign in your first house of self. This is the final countdown for your peak magnetic period. You have been walking around with an invisible yet overwhelmingly potent aura of attraction. This isn't just about looking good. It's about radiating pure, powerful self-acceptance that draws opportunity to you like iron filings to a magnet. If you are single, this is the week you meet someone while running a simple errand at a neighbor's party or attending a casual local gathering. A connection that sparks with instant, intense chemistry. The nature of this connection will be fast-moving, thanks to the third house focus, possibly involving lively dialogue and short, thrilling dates. If you have been hesitant about launching a bold creative venture, like a new website or a video channel, This Venusian glow provides the essential confidence boost to make your debut unforgettable. The public reception will be warmer, more welcoming, and more instantly rewarding than at any other time of the month. Use this final window to be seen, be admired, and make your move. Do not waste this cosmic opportunity on hesitation. It is a moment of pure, sovereign self-expression before the energy turns inward and becomes intensely private. Now we approach the moment of reckoning for this first decade, the culmination of all that has been planned in the shadows. The full moon in Aries on October 6th. This is not merely a lunar phase. It is a blinding illumination that pulls at the depths of your conviction with an undeniable force. This full moon in fiery Aries ignites your ninth house of the distant horizon, higher learning, and absolute truths. The ninth house is the realm of the distant, a place of philosophy and law, where your long-term goals and your deepest beliefs reside. For weeks, you have been accumulating knowledge, planning an escape, preparing for a long journey, or fighting for a principle in the courts of law or public opinion. The full moon is here to cast an undeniable, unyielding light into this vast intellectual space. It promises the reaping of what has been sown, not in the market square of daily deals, but in the unseen landscapes of your profoundest faith. This moon is here to demand a finalization. Imagine a beam of light cutting through a complex legal challenge you thought would never end, revealing the final, crucial piece of evidence that swings the case decisively in your favor. Or perhaps it is the definitive, illuminated realization that your current educational path no longer serves your soul's destiny, forcing you to swiftly and dramatically withdraw and pivot toward a new masterwork. The clarity is sudden, shocking, and irreversible. You may have been waiting on the results of a final exam, a publishing decision for a major work, or an immigration/visa outcome tied to a distant land. On or around October 6th, the answer arrives suddenly and definitively, demanding an immediate response. You must either pack your bags within days or immediately abandon the plan entirely. Alternatively, you might experience a profound philosophical or spiritual awakening, a moment of cosmic download that immediately shatters a core belief you have held for years, forcing you to radically change your view of the world and your place in it. This flash of insight is a turning point you cannot ignore. The tension between the third house and the ninth house is the conflict of this week. The tension between where you are, the neighborhood, the daily work, and where you are going, the distant goal, the higher purpose. The full moon snaps this tension, offering a decisive direction for your grand destiny. The clearing is not just a form of relief. It is the universe's way of preparing the vessel of your mind for the profound, secretive transformations about to be revealed in the second half of the month. You cannot receive the deep wisdom of Pluto if the container of your beliefs is already full of outdated notions. The message is clear, noble Leo. This week is for introspection, but it is also for strategic, precise action. Finalize the small agreements with grace. Amplify your magnetic presence one last time. And above all, be ready to receive that sudden, unyielding truth from the distant horizon. What is revealed in this clarity will be the fuel for the dramatic personal power play of the second decade. Do not shy away from what you discover. Instead, embrace it, for it holds the key to the entire month's unfolding destiny. Leo, if the first week was about the whispers, the elegant contracts, and the diplomatic dance of the local world, this second decade, from October 11th to the 20th, is about the underground currents. This is where the foundation of your world shakes. We move from the well-lit market square to the hidden vault and the clandestine negotiation table, where the stakes are no longer just an agreement, but your very self-worth and shared destiny. The atmosphere shifts right around October 9th, as the beautiful magnetic Venus finally exits your sign and plunges into meticulous Virgo, landing in your second house of value and self-worth. Listen closely. When Venus moves here, your radar for effortless adoration is momentarily turned off. Instead, it becomes a rigorous calculator for money, resources, and inherent talent. The question shifts from "Am I admired?" to "Am I asking for what I am truly worth?" You stop craving applause and start demanding a precise, equitable balance sheet. This is not a time for impulsive spending on luxuries, Leo. This is the moment your cosmic auditor shows up. You may suddenly feel compelled to create a new, ironclad budget, demand a significant higher rate for your creative work, or audit your monthly expenditures with terrifying efficiency. This period is a practical whisper, urging you to create a beautiful and disciplined structure for your resources. It is the necessary grounding before the earthquake hits. But the real seismic activity in this decade begins on October 13th. This is the date you clicked the video for. On this day, the massive planet of truth, transformation, and inevitable finality, Pluto, stops its deep, slow reverse and stations direct in your 7th house of partnerships and open enemies. A Pluto station is not a gentle breeze, Leo. It is a tectonic shift. It means a process of deep, agonizing change that has been grinding away beneath the surface of a key relationship for months is now violently accelerated. Think about the relationship that has felt like a psychological tug-of-war. The one where you suspected there were truths unspoken, power dynamics unbalanced, or resources covertly controlled. This could be a marriage, a business partnership, or a high-stakes rivalry. Here is the cosmic law that Pluto enforces when it moves direct in this pivotal house. The facade must fall. No more hiding. This transit is not about minor disagreements. It is about the soul of the union. You are being forced to see the raw, exposed core of your most critical one-on-one bonds. For many Leos, this will manifest as the ultimate power play in a marriage or a long-term committed partnership. A spouse who has secretly been managing joint debt, been dishonest about a major investment, or withheld a life-altering career decision suddenly reveals the truth, forcing an immediate, non-negotiable discussion about the future of the union. The negotiation for power and control over shared life, money, and emotional space is no longer avoidable. The energy demands that you confront the person across the table not with anger, but with an unblinking gaze that says, the terms of our shared life are now being rewritten. For the entrepreneurial or professional Leo, this power play is a strategic confrontation. A business partner you have suspected of cornering a market, sidelining your contribution, or diverting funds is suddenly exposed by a confluence of events. That stalled contract, that delayed merger, or that ambiguous legal situation you've been waiting on. It either moves forward with a blinding, decisive speed based on the new truths, or it collapses completely, leaving a necessary clean slate for a truly equal union to be built later. This moment requires your powerful discretion and an absolute refusal to compromise on integrity. Pluto is demanding authenticity. Any partnership that is built on unequal power, control, emotional manipulation, or deep-seated resentment will be dramatically forced into either radical, painful honesty, or a complete, irreversible termination. There is no middle ground under this transit. You are being asked to become powerfully self-aware of who you allow to share your space, your vision, and your very destiny. The wounds of the past may surface, demanding deep psychological cleansing and a fearless look at your own role in attracting or sustaining these imbalances. Interwoven with this relationship intensity are the subtle yet potent undercurrents of your 8th house of shared resources, debts, and intimacy. On October 22nd, the outer planet Neptune retrogrades back into Pisces, pulling you back into an ongoing spiritual and financial audit. Neptune is the planet of illusion and dissolution, and in this house, it often means there is confusion, idealism, or a fundamental lack of clarity around money that is not exclusively yours. You may suddenly find that an investment you trusted, a loan application you submitted, or even an inheritance you expected is shrouded in ambiguity. The paperwork is confusing, the terms seem too good to be true, or the promised timeline for a partner's financial contribution seems to perpetually shift. This retrograde motion is the universe giving you a final, urgent warning to use your lion's discernment. Trust your intuition over glossy promises. You must look beyond the beautiful story and demand concrete, verifiable facts. The financial shock is less about sudden loss and more about the painful dissolution of an illusion regarding shared money. You are being given a chance to clean up the spiritual mess around your relationship to debt and intimacy. This is the time to confront any financial dependency, either yours or a partner's, and establish clear, healthy boundaries that protect your self-worth, which, remember, is being recalibrated by Venus. The greatest gift of this transit is not the money, but the emotional freedom that comes from settling old karmic debts and creating a financially sovereign future. But you are a magnificent creature, Leo. You do not just survive, you reign. The cosmos offers you a powerful chance to reset and redirect right at the eye of the storm. On October 21st, we have the potent new moon in Libra, right there in your communication house. The new moon is always a blank check from the universe, an initiation point. Following the upheaval of Pluto's station and the financial pressure of Neptune, This new moon gives you the perfect diplomatic starting point to rewrite the rules. You can use the precision of this new moon to craft a new agreement, whether it's a new, more balanced marriage covenant, a clear, equitable business contract, or a new verbal understanding with a key associate. After the difficult power discussions of the previous week concerning your joint finances, this new moon allows you to calmly, rationally, and charmingly propose a new, legally sound framework for resource sharing that benefits both parties equally and respects the sovereignty of your new self-worth. It is an act of creation, building a sturdy, beautiful bridge across the chasm that Pluto just exposed. The message of this decade is raw, profound, and absolutely essential. You cannot be a great leader until you truly understand the dynamics of the people standing beside you. Pluto tears down the crumbling facade of unequal partnerships, and the new moon hands you the blueprints to build something stronger, more honest, and fundamentally more powerful. You must listen to the uncomfortable truths that surface now, for they are the keys to your true, unshakable strength. Your success here is measured not in gold but in the authenticity of your deepest bonds. Noble Leo, we enter the final, most private chapter of your October cosmic story. The storm of Pluto in your partnership house has forced a choice, a clean break, or a commitment to radical, transparent honesty. Now, the magnificent energy of the universe turns inward, demanding that you apply the lessons of the negotiation table to the very walls that shelter your soul. From October 21st to the 31st, your destiny is no longer public. It is sanctuary. The most profound shift occurs on October 22nd, as your ruler, the radiant sun, descends into the deep, mysterious waters of Scorpio and illuminates your fourth house of home, family, and emotional foundations. This is not a time for casual redecorating, Leo. This is an excavation. The sun's light, usually so brilliant and external, is now focused on the subterranean chambers of your lineage and your private emotional memory. The fourth house governs your roots, the very psychological soil from which you grew. The energy demands that you confront the deep, unspoken patrimony you carry. What emotional debts from your family line have you inherited? What old resentments about your childhood home or your primary caretakers are still subtly influencing your adult decisions about security and intimacy? This is a profound period of emotional housecleaning. You may suddenly feel an irresistible, almost fated pull to renovate a basement or attic. A clear physical manifestation of your subconscious desire to heal or uncover a long-forgotten family secret. A conversation with an older relative, perhaps one you have avoided, may become essential, suddenly revealing a missing piece of your family history that completely reframes your understanding of yourself and your current life choices. The atmosphere in your actual living space will become intense, demanding a powerful reckoning. You will crave deep solitude, but you may also find that family dynamics escalate. Do not run from the intensity. The only way through Scorpio's waters is to dive straight in. The truth about your sense of belonging, your deepest comfort, and your ultimate financial security is rooted here. Only by tending to your foundation can you support the glittering empire you are building in the world. Interwoven with this domestic depth is the lingering, seductive pull of the unseen world, centered on the final cleanup of your shared resources. Right around October 22nd, the planet of illusion and dissolution, Neptune, retrogrades back into Pisces, pulling you back into an ongoing spiritual and financial audit within the 8th house of shared resources and intimacy. The financial confusion you experienced in the middle of the month now circles back for a final, crucial inspection. Neptune's return here is not meant to confuse you. It is meant to test your resolve to demand clarity. If a partner's financial contribution or a major loan application was cloaked in ambiguity, this period is your last chance to cut through the fog. You might feel a strange, almost psychic intuition that an investment is illusory, or that a promise of future funds is based on a beautiful, but ultimately unsustainable dream. Trust the inner tremor, not the glossy prospectus. Your intuition is your most valuable asset here. You are being given the final opportunity to disentangle yourself from any financial narrative that is too good to be true, protecting your sanctuary from external hidden debts. The greatest gift of this transit is not the money itself, but the emotional sovereignty that comes from settling old karmic debts and establishing clear, healthy boundaries around shared vulnerability. This entire decade is a masterclass in protecting the quiet power of your emotional home. But the ending of October promises a magnificent, fiery release. As the month approaches its conclusion, A welcome shift in mental energy pulls you out of the intense, watery depths of home and finance. On October 29th, the swift messenger Mercury bursts out of Scorpio's darkness and ignites the enthusiastic, optimistic flames of Sagittarius in your 5th house of creativity, romance, and pleasure. This is your cosmic reward, Leo. The fog lifts, the seriousness evaporates, and your powerful mind is finally free to focus on what you love most: joyful self-expression. This transit injects a welcome dose of fun and fiery enthusiasm back into your life, pulling you from the attic of your memory and back onto the stage. The energy urges you to plan a celebration, express yourself artistically, or flirt with joyful, reckless abandon. The 5th house is where the lion truly plays. That massive creative project you felt too emotionally drained to start suddenly grabs your attention. Ideas flow effortlessly, conversations become witty and engaging, and you're inspired to book a weekend getaway focused purely on enjoyment. If you were recently faced with a difficult relationship decision, thanks Pluto. This transit provides the necessary emotional distance, allowing you to re-enter the dating world or simply revel in the joy of your own company with magnetic, optimistic energy. The final message of October is cyclical. The profound work you undertook in the darkness of your home and your partnerships now becomes the foundation for unbridled joy. You healed the past so you could truly enjoy the present. You entered this month with Venusian charm and high diplomacy. You moved through the middle armed with Plutonian power and financial precision. And you exit the month possessing a rebuilt foundation and a soaring intellectual passion. You have secured your home, protected your resources, and reclaimed your sovereign spirit. October 2025 has not just transformed you, Leo. It has fortified your kingdom from the inside out. Walk into November as the sovereign you were always meant to be.